Report. California Congressman Ted Lieu is joining me now to talk about this. He is a Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. So, Congressman, tell me your reaction to this, that Don McGahn has been subpoenaed by your committee to appear on the 21st.
Thank you, Brianna, for your question. If Don McGahn does not appear on the 21st, then we will move to hold him in contempt, the same way that we moved to hold Attorney General Bill Barr in contempt. But what does this mean? You know, when I'm at the grocery store or the post office, people don't walk up to me and go, hey, what's the deal with contempt? What they want to know is, why is the Trump administration hiding information? What are they covering up? That's what this really all boils down to. What is the administration trying to hide from the American people?
So what is the real effect of this, though? I mean, you heard Jeremy basically saying there, certainly in the immediate future, there isn't one. If what people are concerned about is getting information, how does this move towards that end? Or is this just about political messaging?
Right. You can't believe how complicated this is. So the way the process works is after we hold a person in contempt in the committee, we then send it to the House floor, and then the House floor has to take a vote, and if the House votes that person in contempt, then it triggers two things. We get to litigate the issue in federal court, and Congress also has inherent contempt powers where we can start imposing fines on individuals who violate subpoenas without having to go to court.
You do have at your disposal, although Congress, as you heard Jeremy report there, has not used it in some time. You have at your disposal an enforcement mechanism in the Sergeant at Arms. I was speaking with Congresswoman Jackie Speier, and she brought up the idea of using that mechanism. Do you support that?
So my view is, if the Trump administration is going to completely deny every single congressional subpoena, then every option has to be on the table. Congress is Article 1 in the Constitution, and James Madison in his Federal Papers 51 said that the legislative branch predominates. We're actually the strongest branch, and we're just going to have to exercise our powers and make sure we get the information from the American people. So my view is all options have to be on the table. I do think that fines are a pretty significant option. That should be something that could get us the documents that we need if we have to go there.
Okay, so options are on the table. So you are actively considering jailing the Attorney General?
I'm not actually considering that. Supreme Court.
So then how is it on the table?
So if we can't get information about criminal conduct, then the question has to be asked, well, we do have an option here to try to get information about potential criminal conduct.
Well, you're not getting information. You're already
That's
not
correct.
getting information.
You're absolutely right, which is why we're doing these series of escalating steps. And my view is, yes, we should have all options on the table. Impeachment is also one of those options, and I think that might be something we would do first before considering using the Sergeant at Arms.
Okay. I see this. So you're seeing this as an escalating series of options. You've heard now members of your party say that this is a constitutional crisis, with the White House rebuffing all of these attempts by Congress to get information, to get testimony. James Comey on CNN last night said the system is being tested, but he would not endorse that idea that this is a constitutional crisis. Do you?
Yeah. I agree with Speaker Pelosi and Chairman Nadler that we're in a constitutional crisis, but whether you call it that or a stress test of our democracy, the issue again is the same. It's what I said before, which is the administration is hiding information from the American people, and it's not just the Judiciary Committee. They are stonewalling every single committee. So, for example, our Oversight Committee wants to know, well, why did the administration grant security clearances to all these folks, including Jared Kushner, that the FBI said you shouldn't give them a security clearance? So we can't get that information either. And so we're in a crisis in the sense that we can't get important information from the administration to help Congress and the American people decide how to act.
On the issue of impeachment, you said in a USA Today op-ed, quote, if the administration continues to disregard subpoenas, another method of information collecting would be an impeachment inquiry. So if you move to impeach, it opens up mechanisms where you could more easily get this information. But would it be better, especially as we see your leadership so reticent to pursue impeachment, would it be better to pursue the impeachment route than to let this play out in the courts?
If Donald Trump's goal is to push us to impeachment, he's doing a good job of it, because It is unifying the caucus, the blanket denials of our lawful congressional subpoenas. And the Democrat caucus realizes that we can't impeach right now because we have to get all the facts, get the information. It's one of our gravest options. But if we can't get the facts, then we may have no choice but to move to impeachment. And in Watergate, Article 3 of the impeachment articles against Richard Nixon was obstructing Congress.
Would you like, what route to you is preferable, impeachment or moving through the courts?
We should first try the contempt option. That doesn't work, we should try the option in court. If that doesn't work, we should try an inherent contempt, and then I think we can look at impeachment.
All right, Congressman Ted Lieu, thank you so much for being with us.